No, never. Wouldn't it be great though if there was a Michael Jackson song that was out there and it came out, just after all this controversy, and kaboom, went straight to number one as a Michael Jackson song would do, But wouldn't it be great that mainstream radio won't be able to play that song, eh? But yeah.
Well, exactly. They'll try to get their hands on and turn the whole story around so they can play it
for sure
and make some revenue out of it somehow. But no, well, it's done and dusted, mate. Like the boys have said, watch this space and see what progresses through until the next musician comes through. What saddens me, though, is, you go back to the Bill Cosby debacle worldwide, just take worldwide dominance. R. Kelly is another. Now you got obviously Michael Jackson going through the ring at the moment. Mainstream, Harvey Weinstein. That one went up and down pretty well, being put away behind the door at the moment for now. Kevin Spacey. All of these ones are coming out. It's just a never-ending story, and I can tell you now, Michael's not the last. The next one will be unearthed, and it's just an ongoing effect, a ripple effect, where social media dominance gets the coverage because media just want to touch into it. Anything that's bad, and just throw it out there, and we get to say our 2 cents worth. That's just the way it is, mate.
It is. Right, let's get on to a bit of rugby. Great game last night there, Walker. I think you missed one heck of a game. The Hurricanes and the Highlanders, mate. Was a damn good game, but my team obviously doing it over the Highlanders team. 25-22 was the final score, and I tell you what, it was 22-all for about 10 minutes, I think. Hey, great game, Reno?
Yeah, it was, and I thought, the Landers, because I was talking to you on Wednesday, I was going for a weekend of upsets, and I thought, the Landers might bloody sneak this up because they looked a better other team. They were dominant in the forward pack right at the start there as well, and Ngani Laumaping got into his stripes, a couple of tries, and he gave it to his opposition's face, really said it to him, and he stood up to the mark. But Bodie on full time, that penalty, and kicked it through, and we saw the results. So good to see Dane Cole's back, mate.
Great.
Playing some good footy, eh? Good
great.
to see. And in my personal pick, I thought TJ might have had the better of Aaron Smith. But, hey, it was a good game. Could have gone either way. And I actually thought it should stay at 22-all because it deserved to be something like that. But, that's what it is.
Yeah. Highlanders not off to a good start there, Ra?
Well, you'll be a happy chappy there, brother, I suppose. I mean,
obviously.
It's especially Wellington. I mean, in my eyes, they're a team that promises so much and delivers so little. They remind me of the Blues twin side, but your side will take the win. And, a bit disappointing for my team. It's back to the drawing board for next weekend. So, Jackson's stations now for the Landers. Not that they're out of contention.
No, not at all.
But it's all about the winning factor, and as we've seen from a couple of teams in Super Rugby, I think your team, the Hurricanes, is it their first win, Keith? Not too sure.
Is it their first win, please?
Yeah, but that's still early days for the teams, and we'll be watching next weekend to see. Especially if my side can, especially the Landers, because I've just sort of facing the Chiefs. I just think they're pretty much they're not gone, but it's a hard road to climb for them. But they can do it. But it'll probably take a miracle. But no, the Landers, keep an eye on them.
Well, it doesn't get easier for them next weekend. Of course, they take on the Crusaders, whom the Chiefs have got today.
Oh yeah, I mean that's going to be a walk in the park for the Chiefs, for the Crusaders, and once again, I hate to say it at this early stage in Super Rugby, but I think they're going to take the title again this year, Keezy. They're just too consistent, eh?
Too good, eh?
Too good.
Well, Reno's going for the Chiefs today, eh, Reno?
Yeah, I am, mate. Like I was calling it on Wednesday, a weekend of upsets, and look, the Landers nearly did it for me last night. A draw would have been just as good. Something's got to fall off on the wheels of the Crusaders. Everyone's picking them to dominate and walk over the Chiefs. Chiefs got toasted last week against the Sunwolves at home, and then the week before, they really got toasted up by the Brumbies. So, yeah, mate, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, and I guess no one's going to see this coming, so I reckon the Chiefs will beat over the very informed Crusaders team who are going for the 18th straight win in a row. And then they'll come back next week and think about themselves and give it to the Landers.
True. Well, that's an interesting take on the situation, I suppose. Now, last night also, the Rebels and the Brumbies, they must have had a very good game too. 29-26 that game ended up. So, another close one there, Reno?
Yeah, right at the end. That was exactly like watching the earlier game, the Canes and the Hurricanes and the Landers, because that was going back and forth. It was 26-all for a while there as well, until I think it was the 77th minute, and they got the penalty there. So exact replica of what we watched in Wellington, and it just tells you how close it is. And look at the Rebels team, a team that's been easy beat over the previous seasons, and that Brumbies team came up firing. They walloped the old Chiefs a couple of weeks ago, and everyone thought, this is the turnaround on the Australian teams. But, the Rebels, mate, they snuck in there with the last-minute penalty. So just 2 games winning on penalties at the end.
Now, the Blues take on the Sunwolves, and this will be an interesting game for the Sunwolves. I mean, because I tell you what, the Chiefs getting beaten by the Sunwolves last weekend at home, that was pretty unexpected, eh?
Oh, it was, and I got to be honest, I actually didn't mind the Sunwolves, beating the Chiefs, because usually it is one-way traffic, and they would have expected the Chiefs to take that game, but the Sunwolves sort of good on them. I take my hat off to them. It's always good to see that rank outside a team, come through and pull off a win. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if I was a Blues fan. I'd probably be watching my back. I think the Sunwolves are going to come out, firing because of that victory last weekend, and they could make it 2 for 2 here in Old Aotearoa. I hope they do. It's good for rugby in Japan, and there might be an omen and a good luck sign for the Rugby World Cup coming up. That the host nation gives them a bit of pride in rugby. I mean, as we've seen in latest developments, I thought. There's not much pride in the Pacific nations after being excluded from these new world competitions that the IRB is coming up with. So, good on the Sunwolves. Go to Sunwolves today, I reckon.
Oh, you're going for the Sunwolves. Oh, good stuff then. I know that Reno's going for the Sunwolves too, eh?
Yeah, the Blues are lost him, mate. Who the hell makes Sonny Bill Williams a captain, honestly?
What?
Who made a dickhead decision like that? Some idiot up there, so Auckland's falling apart if you go make SPW the bloody captain. Something's not right there. So you go to Sunwolves, North Harbour Stadium. The journey back from over in Argentina and around the world, I think, would take its toll on them. And the only way the Blues will win, mate, if they do it for the emotions of the sad loss of their prop, Big Mike. That's the only way they'll drive it through. I reckon there'll be something special. The Blues need to win. Hasn't been too good. They started the season with a hiss and roar. It's typical, and everyone thought, the next best thing since sliced bread.
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
It's typical Blues.
Still to win.
Typical Blues. So they need to win, mate. They need to win
obviously.
to save grace.
They need to win.
Go to Sunwolves and let Japan have a big celebration again for the second weekend in a row.
Because it's funny, I remember everyone saying, it should be a great season for the Blues after they were only defeated by 2 points by the Crusaders. They're still yet to notch up a win in the competition. So they certainly need one, and obviously this is the game that they're going to be targeting because they need points to be put on the board for the Blues.
We got to say that, otherwise, if you just keep saying, the Blues, season after season with their consistent form of losing most of the time, it becomes a bit of a mute speech. One thought under the guidance of Leon Rangi McDonald. That the Blues would sort of find a bit of form this season, but I think their fans are still waiting for the team to produce that form. And look, I think the team that is sort of showing form is the Sunwolves, so go to the Japanese side. Anyway, there's half of them are Kiwis in that Sunwolves.
Sunwolves, yeah, true enough. As well as that, now JT alluded to this game that's on the Waratahs and Reds. You must be going for the Reds there, JT?
I couldn't give a stuff. Keith Bealey raises a rip on my radar, mate. As soon as I get the idiots off so better, they're ducking and scrummaging and everything else. Puts it up to the real place. So, come on, have your little kick-a-thon and get the hell out of here.
Of course, got to be looking forward to the league next weekend. It's coming up, isn't it?
Oh, you betcha. Next Thursday, mate, Stormborough. Game 1. Let's bring it.
Awesome stuff. Anyway, hey, we're going to go to a break and we'll be back with more Full-Time right after this. On behalf of the Full-Timers, I would just like to say big thanks to Joachim Currid, who brings us our music intro. Check him out on joachimcurrid.com. He's also on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Spotify, Instagram, and follow him on Facebook. Another big thanks goes out to Silent Partner, who brings us our outro. Check out their music on YouTube. And also thanks must go to the Polish Ambassador for the backing music for this promo. Check out the Polish Ambassador on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Beatport, Instagram, Twitter, and on his website, thepolishambassador.com.
You're listening to a podcast produced by Tūrangi FM, number one iwi radio station in Aotearoa. We play each full-time session on Tūrangi FM Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. You can listen in live on our Tūrangi FM media page. Just click the main Tūrangi FM logo to tune in online. Or if you're in the Gisborne area, we're on the radio frequencies 91.7, 95.7 and 98.1. Also check out the Full-Time Facebook page where you can listen to the podcast again. Make comments and click links that will lead you to other ways to listen to the podcast, such as Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, Podchaser and Tumblr. Right, let's get back to the Fools on Full-Time.
Welcome along to our second session here on Full-Time. Want to send a shout out going out to our sponsors, Grace Craig Motors, down there on Grey Street. Also want to send another shout out to the Niwa Painga whānau, who are going to be heading off out onto the ocean on a bit of a dreary day. I'm supposed to go out on the Waka Horua as well, but well, I'm here talking with my peeps, the fools, so bringing you Full-Time here on Tūrangi FM. Right, let's talk about the NRL, man. I know we'll start off with you, JT. No, you're looking forward to it, mate. It's going to be another heck of a great season. I'll tell you what, when NRL seems to kick off, the TV seem to be switching to, from rugby straight to the league, because it's by far, I think anyway, a more entertaining game, JT?
I don't know about what's that noise in the background? I don't know what TV yours is, but mine's stuck on NRL, mate.
I think that's Reno's muko. That's Reno's muko in there, dog. Come on, Reno.
Yeah. I just got a whole lot of kids tuned up. Yeah, a whole lot just ran in the house. All the muko and all his little cousins are just rocked on up with the dogs going to town. All the kids are out the front, like 10 of them.
Right.
Māori radio, well.
Yes, Māori radio. That's iwi radio for you. Anyway, JT, NRL, bro.
Yeah, it's been a long 5 months, mate. Looking forward to the boys kicking off again this weekend. Thursday night, the Storm, my team take on the Broncos down in Melbourne, and the Storm could only have 10 players against 13, and I'll still pick them. So I think the Storm will win that one. Been a bit patchy, and they've lost both their pre-season games, but that's typical of Storm in the build-up to the season, so looking forward to that one. Friday night, the Knights take on the Sharks. Knights, a lot expected of them this year, but I think the Sharks might just have the goods on them. The Sharks are really aggressive, grubby sort of a side. They get under your skin and they really, really annoy you. So I think the Knights, the Sharks, will win that one. Roosters, Rabbitohs under the big man Wayne Bennett this year. Big changes expected there. Might just be the